back to Attingham Park, and we are on our way back from Wellington Farm down to the main farm. And today we're going to be harvesting the corn. So I should at this point have crashed into the speed limit sign, and I should also have released the short stream that I did on here last Friday. So a while ago, and the idea was that I was going to feed the animals and have a bit of a chat with folks, really to test out another streaming setup. I had some issues in that with the laptop's GPU being overloaded. It's actually not the bit of the GPU that shows the pictures. It was the encoder, which is separate in modern GPUs, and I actually found that if I tweaked some of the OBS settings a little bit, it was fine. But I have since done a test using the new desktop, and it's even better. So we're going to be going that route for streaming in the future. But in that video, I fed some of the animals. I screwed up making TMR up at Wellington Farm, and so I had to do a little bit of XMLery to get things back to working. I had put way too much mineral feed in. I think I was doing a really bad job of picking jobs to do whilst streaming. Mixing TMR requires a fair bit of thought. Sometimes I haven't, because of how often I have recorded on here recently. It's been a while since I made feed up at Wellington Farm, and I got the order wrong. So what I need to do up there is put in the 3 bales that it needs, put in the molasses and the soybeans, and I can then go put the mineral feed in, because the mineral silos fill really quickly. And rather than putting in about 1,500 litres of mineral feed, it dumped in 5,000 almost instantly, and that completely screwed the mix up, and I couldn't get it back out to recover it. I would have needed a bulk silo basically to be able to tip all the ingredients that I put in back into the into something to reset it. Didn't have that option, so I did some XMLery, not XMLery, to take some of that out. And I fed them, and then we skipped ahead to the morning because the corn is ready. So this is going to be another almost live video. I'm enjoying making these. You guys are enjoying watching them, so we're going to keep going with them. I actually have a bit of work to do around the yard. You can probably see in the field still the slurry hoses are out. You might not be able to see that orange line. I haven't got all that packed away from when we were doing slurry spreading, but I want to get on with harvesting that corn and turning it into CCM. So that's what we're going to do. Some of the sort of background jobs I'm just saving for when I want to sit and do a bit of farm sim in the background. So the plan for today is to harvest the corn, which is why we're picking up a grain trailer. I'm not sure if I have a corn header, but what I'm going to do is dump it in the silo, and then I've got grain in here still. Okay, we should tip that in the silo. Once we've got everything harvested and tipped into the silo, we'll reconfigure the grain mill to mill the corn for CCM, and we will then lease the multi-baler, because I think I'm going to do the CCM as bales because I don't have a spare clamp to put it in. So yeah, we're going to bale it. So that'll be something a little bit different. Making CCM in a clamp is exactly the same as making any other silage in a clamp. So there's not really anything that you're missing out on seeing there, I think. So yeah, that's why we're going to do it that way. The trailer we've got is just fine. So do we have a corn head? That's the Land Rover I was looking for. I don't think we do. Let's just have a check in the inventory. We do not have a corn header because I don't think I probably ever intended to harvest corn normally. So just pull the landy out of the way, and I couldn't find that in the stream. So that's why I used the JCB to run over to Wellington Farm. So let's see if we can get the combine out. I think what we need to do probably is go the other way and back it out so we don't trash the auger. It needs a wash. Pretty messy. The jet wash is just there. We might do that before we start harvesting, actually. And then I'm going to lease a header. We'll get the store to deliver it to the field for us. That will just, make things a little bit easier. And they'll probably, want to show us how to set it all up and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah, we'll go with that as a reason. It's believable, isn't it? Semi-believable. And we've got a nice big field for them to deliver it into, so that'll work quite nicely. Yeah, as I said, I hadn't intended to harvest corn on here as a grain, I guess. But it will mean that we can make some CCM, which I've not done in gameplay yet, I don't think. So we should give that a go. Right, let's... we'll get the store to deliver to there. So combinations. So we've got a 6 meter, a 6 meter, and that's the sunflower. So we might as well go for class 1. We're just going to lease it because I probably won't do this again. And this is kind of to just to show it off, and we can use it to feed the pigs. Obviously, it's better value with feeding the pigs to buy feed in, but just something to do, really. Yeah, I forget which videos I've spoken about this and which ones I haven't for everyone. Oh, the head's still unfolding. Because I have these videos and the Patreon videos. I'm not sure what the plan is long term for streaming at the moment. I did mention in the Ohio video this week that I do plan to use that series for streaming in the future. I think I mentioned that anyway. So there's about 4 episodes left of that series, and then depending on how it goes, I think that will could naturally progress into a series I can use for streaming. Because most of the jobs don't take too long, and I can always scale the kit up to make things quicker. And so the slight complication with using the normal Let's Plays to stream on is, depending on how it falls in the week, quite often, come on, I think the game is saving. Yeah, I had a suspicion I was running out of disk space, but it seems to be okay. So, yeah, the problem with streaming on my normal Let's Plays is that quite often I like to be, and actually it's not so much of an issue at the moment because I'm only doing one, well, I'm doing 1 and a bit a week generally. But depending on how it falls in the week, I might be trying to stream on Let's Play, and I've got a video recorded, but it's not been released yet. So the last stream was an example of that. If you caught it live, what I was doing was after the video that came out a day later, but because of the way I was doing it, it didn't really impact things. But yeah, that can be an issue. So I think moving to doing it with Ohio will work really well once that's finished being a mini series. Back last summer, I did toy with the idea of streaming. Some of you may or may not remember that, and I bailed on that. It was the anticipation and the build up really stressed me out, and I canned it. But I had set up a save on Broomfield or Bloomfield, something like that, one of the Canadian maps that came out. And I'd set up a save on there that I'd planned to use for just streaming, and it never actually saw the light of day. I think I might have deleted it by now. It might be on the other laptop, but I might have just deleted it. I do not know. I'm pretty sure I deleted the mod folder that went with it. So yeah, that's probably a no-go. But and so I don't know. I've spoken about this. Fitting in regular streaming is going to be quite difficult for me. So it might be an as and when thing. The Friday afternoon slot that I used last week worked quite well last week. This week, not so much, because Friday is my birthday and I want to spend it with family mostly. So yeah, but that is an option. There will be, again, there won't have been this week because I have other plans for Thursday this week, but Thursday streams will be coming back with Paul as well, and the intent there is that I will stream at the same time as he streams so that you can get both views. That I would like to stream on YouTube, but that might switch to Twitch so that we can multi-stream that, so you can see both pictures at the same time. Yeah, so that might move platforms just to get a better overall experience, because the plan as well is for Rainer to stream. He's just got some computer upgrades and so he needs to do the setup thing as well. But yeah, the plan is for him to stream as well, so that's going to be kind of cool. I think, you know, you get a multi-view of the gameplay, so that would be different. But yeah, I don't know. There is always the option of some days me streaming during the daytime, in my lunch break. It's definitely my lunch break. But yeah, quite often I use that time for recording. So, and there's only so many hours in the day, and I don't want to go heavy into streaming. I do really prefer making videos. It just suits me better, so we'll see how it goes. And the almost live videos, this video you're watching, which is almost live, are another step towards, you know, they're another challenge. It's you know, playing and talking at the same time is a step up. I've been kind to myself today and picked a slightly easier job than trying to feed the animals. So that will come on here, and yep, we'll have to do that. The difference, I think, is that with streaming you've got that other aspect of chat, and you know, actually engaging with the audience while you're streaming is kind of important. It's kind of why people are there. So yeah, and again, that's why Ohio lends itself to streaming, because it's all field work, and mostly field work, particularly once you bring GPS in. There's a lot more opportunity to interact with people and not have to concentrate on, right, I need to put this bale in and this many thousand litres of feed in and that kind of thing. So yeah, that's why I think it will lend itself to that. The other save that I had set up, the Canadian save, that had maizePlus and cows and pigs and things, so that would have been quite a challenge for me to stream, I think. But it did have some cool kit in it. It was around the time of FarmCon, so I had the little John Deere 70 series that Giants released. I do like that tractor. And I had, what else did I have? I had a lot of Kubota stuff because again I think the Kubota DLC had just released, so I went quite heavy on that as well. And yeah, it was going to be fun. It was another series that was set up as an established farm, which I've been doing a lot lately, and I think when the next time, it's going to be a while, but the next time we start a series, I'm going to do another start from scratch. I really enjoy those. I enjoy the challenge of not having a lot of cash and making decisions about how you do. So, but as I spoke about in, I think it was the Maypole video, or another recent video, I do want to experiment at some point with going down to one Let's Play, one main Let's Play, and really focusing on putting out more videos in a week on it so it progresses much quicker. Yeah. So. And as always, no plan that I come up with really survives that long, so we'll see how it all goes. Whatever I plan will change, so that's the first combine full. I need to make sure I turn off park vehicle on there. I'm not sure how well this little JCB is going to do for managing to park this trailer once it's full, but the benefit is it's fast, so that's why I'm using it. We'll do another set of headlands at the far end of the field, and then we will start opening this field up, and I could maybe bung auto drive on then to do the karting, but we'll see how we get on. See how long this is taking, and at some point I'll probably jump into time-lapsing some of the harvest so that I'm not waffling away for hours on end. For normal people, it's Monday. For patrons, you know it's Monday because depending on when I release this video, you might not. So I've just recorded the video for the patrons, and I was talking about the fact that it's Monday and I'm away in a hotel again, and I might record Attingham after this. So, but I'm not sure. This video might actually come out before the patron video. So yeah, that's me getting confused. Anyway, this is probably therefore a really good point to say thank you to the patrons and the YouTube channel members. You guys are awesome. And if you're wondering where game sound has gone, I've just tabbed out the game to make a note of the time so that when I'm editing it's easier. Because I'm away, I'm recording on my laptop and have a single screen, and I don't have a notepad next to me, so when I'm normally playing at my desk, I normally have a notepad next to me to make notes on, for bits to include in commentary and that kind of thing. If I mention another video for putting a card in or whatever, I make a note of those. But because I'm away, I don't have the notepad next to me. I should really pack it with me. I travel with so much junk, I should really just bring the notepad with me as well. So I had to tab out to go to the desktop where I keep notes electronically. And when I do that, you lose game sound. So there you go. The yield is looking pretty good actually on here. We're not going to be short of corn, which is nice. It's going to give plenty of plenty of feed for the pigs through the winter. It looks like we have another grass field which is nearly ready to mow. Half of it is. So that was where we were keeping the beef cattle before we moved them over to Wellington Farm. And so half of that field has recovered from being grazed and half hasn't. So we'll probably leave that and do a cut in October for silage. Yeah, it's probably the plan. Just trying to think, we did August, so September, October, we should be able to get a cut off of everything. The other thing that we can do now is, I think the little bit of grass that I planted up at Wellington Farm should be grown enough to do some zero grazing, so we'll probably bring that in as well. I don't know whether I'll get the ribbery again that I used on here before to do that, or whether we'll just we might even have a loading wagon. I don't know actually. Yeah, we've got a forage wagon, so we might just take the forage wagon over to Wellington Farm with a front mower. Or I might just buy a slightly smaller forage wagon actually and get a front mower over there. Maybe something that we can run on the Kubota, that would be quite nice. I do still need to get the small utility tractor for over there. I was going to use the Carrera that came out, and I might still do that. But I have downloaded a modded version of the Brewer, which has a front loader. I'm kind of pondering between here and Maypole for that, because it is a very old tractor, so it would fit in on Maypole. Apart from the fact that it was a European brand, so I don't know how easy it would have been to get it imported back then, but yeah. And the nice thing would be it's going to be a great little tractor over at Wellington Farm for running the straw blower, but also it's got a front loader, so it will work well for doing any other jobs over there that the Crammer struggles with. So again, if you watch the stream, I had some pallets of soybeans delivered, and I'd forgotten that they were so heavy that the Crammer can't pick them up. What I didn't think of at the time, because my brain was a bit frazzled with streaming and things going wrong, was I could have probably used the forklift that I've got over there to pick those up to put them in the silo. So yeah, so we'll get a couple of runs on the cutting done, and then we'll jump into a time lapse. And I think one of the things with these almost live videos is they're probably naturally going to be longer than a normal video. That means if I do actually want to release this on Wednesday, I need to remember to upload it when I get home tomorrow. It's possible that it won't come out on Wednesday. It might come out later in the week. So one of the other things I was talking about doing in the video for the patrons, I think it was in that video anyway, hopefully it wasn't earlier in this video and I'm not repeating myself, was that I may release the VOD for the stream, because I haven't released that yet. I may release that on Wednesday morning and then do an Ohio video Wednesday afternoon. The original plan was that a Greenlands video would come out on Wednesday afternoon, but I just haven't got it finished yet. So that's where we are with that. And if I do that, then this video can come out later in the week. So we'll see how we do. By the time you see this video, I will have made that decision already. So I should probably have released, just trying to think, I should probably have released the VOD for Attingham this morning, but I forgot. And as I said, it's Monday. Tomorrow is Timber Tuesday. Timber Tuesday will have been back for you, is back for me. So yeah, Wednesday is usually, Wednesday morning is usually an Ohio video, but I might just swap those around and do the VOD in the morning and the Ohio video in the afternoon. So the kind of the purpose of that mini series, well, there were many purposes to that mini series. The first one was to have something that I could just stick on and play and not really have to think about too much. The other one of the other ones was it's quite quick content to make generally. Some of the jobs have taken a bit longer, but generally it's quite quick content to make. It's quite a quick video to edit and voice, and so I can generally have one of those in reserve almost, and so it's quite handy when on a week like this week where I'm behind to make up. And again, I think I spoke about it in the Patreon video. So patrons, apologies, you'll hear this again or will have heard it already. The reason that I'm kind of behind this week is that one of the dogs was ill on Sunday. He had a trip to the emergency vet where we found out he has a thyroid issue, and his hormone levels were incredibly low, and that meant he was, basically he was almost not quite non-responsive, but he had no energy. He's generally a very happy, enthusiastic dog, and he wasn't responding. We got the teenager down, and normally that would mean he would jump out of his cage to see her, and he was just not interested in anything. He was quite unsteady on his feet, so yeah, emergency vets. Many hundreds of pounds later, we found out he's got a thyroid issue and he's now on meds and got to go back next week for another blood test to find out how he's responding to the medication and be adjusted and probably repeat the process. So yeah, that was a very stressful Sunday morning, which meant I didn't get as much done as I'd planned. And then Saturday we were over at a university open day for the teenager, looking around there, so I basically didn't get as much recorded at the weekend as I'd hoped. But well, the dog being poorly was not a good thing. The university open day was cool, so yeah, it was for good reasons, good and bad reasons. Anyway, I am going to get some of this done, and I will be back with you in a bit. Well, I have an almost full trailer. I turned the tractor off, so let's run back to the yard, and we're going to set ourselves up to make some some CCM. So actually, I think we're going to set up in the field here. No, we're going to set up back at the yard. So what we need is the words. We need the words that are failing us. We need the mill reconfigured to do CCM, not grain mix, which is what it's configured for at the moment. We are going to need a conveyor to convey into the mill, and we are going to need a tractor to run the mill. And we are also going to need a... I should have cleaned up all these freaking hoses. We're going to need a trailer to mill into. And we're probably going to want to buy some Luprasil, because that will give us more. And actually, rather than a trailer to mill into, we could mill directly into the baler. How about that for crazy? So let's back this up all the way. Right. Let's get this parked over here. We need to have a really good clean up of the yard. But I haven't done that yet. That is one of the downsides of these almost live videos, is a lot of the stuff that I would do off camera I've not been doing. I've been slacking. So yeah, there is that. We need to take this to the workshop to reconfigure it. It does need quite a big tractor, so actually sticking it on the Terra track is not unreasonable in my opinion. So let's pull forward. I think I actually need to go and update the multi-baler. Hopefully the hotel internet is up to downloading that. So that one, customize. Oh, it's already customized as a CCL mill. Awesome. I wonder if that was just the default. So let's get this back to where we need it. And then, oh, crash count +1, maybe? I don't know. I don't keep track. I don't keep track by a long way. But that's not going well. So I need to have a really good tidy up in here. I need to get that header put away properly. The planter put away properly. All the slurry pumping kit put away properly. I need to not keep crashing, which I seem to be now. Let's get ourselves back around the corner, and then we need to get a conveyor to get the grain mix into the mill. Mill. We need some Luprasil. We need a big-ish tractor because I'll use the Flegel trailer for... No, actually, we're going to go straight into the multi-baler. I'll be back. Okay, let's do some leasing of stuff. So, we need the belt systems, and we're going to go for just the Grimy Quantum so we can tip into it. We can lease that. We need the baler, so we're going to go into balers. And we're going to get the multi-baler. And we're going to lease that. And we need a pallet of Luprasil. So Luprasil boosts the yield of the mill when it's milling CCM. It is actually it's cheaper now. It used to be really expensive. It is not so expensive now, but I think the usage has gone up, so I'm actually going to buy a couple of pallets of that. So I'm going to use the Deutz to run the multi-baler. So I'll get everything set up and I'll be... What could possibly go wrong? Okay, I think I have everything I need over here now. So I've used the smaller case that we have to bring over the conveyor belt. It's still on a row crop tires from doing fertilizer duty, but it seemed like the right tractor for doing this job, so that's why we've used it. I'm just trying to get this over the hopper. And then I'm just going to push out the belt a little bit and we can drop that off and move this out of the way. Pop that there. So I decided to save the potential comedy moment of loading up the 2 pallets of Luprasil until you guys were watching. Because again, what could possibly go wrong with trying to do this and trying to be a bit lazy and... Oh, no, that auto loaded, it seemed. But I want to try and stick both on, and that's not working at all. So we'll just do the one. Yeah, we'll just do the one. Cool. So we'll just leave that there for now. I'm just going to get that off the pallet forks because it was sitting kind of jankily. There we go. Right. Baler. So the baler, I have set this to 150 centimeter bales because it cannot wrap the 180 centimeter bales that it can produce. We are going to turn on automatic drop. We are going to turn on the baler. We're going to jump in here. We are going to refill the Luprasil. We are going to start the engine and we are going to turn on the mill. Actually, I think the mill turns itself on automatically. Know this stuff by now, Disturbed. And last but not least, we are going to put the tip side to the grain door. Behind the grain door. I'm sorry. As a kid, my parents were massive fans of Shaking Stevens. And that meant I listened to quite a lot of it. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it, okay? So we want to start that engine and turn that on. And then as we back this up, hopefully we will get a trigger. And my hope is I can just leave all of this running. And I can go get on with harvesting, is the plan. But we'll see how that works out. I just want this trailer to get up. The trailer is at full tip, so I think that should just run now, and the reason I'm just going to leave it is you'll see that the baler is filling up pretty slowly. So we'll come back and check on this at some point. I'll keep an eye on it in Simple Inspector. Because that trailer is now busy tipping, what I am going to do is jump in the Q series, drop the feeder off the back, go grab the other trailer that we have, take that over to the cornfield and crack on with harvesting, because we still have an awful lot of work to do in the harvester. I should probably put a weight on the front of this, but hey, it'll be fine. I had actually forgotten that we owned this Flegel trailer. I'm guessing that was from silage season. But it will be equally good for getting corn in, and it also has a grain door, so quite useful for tipping into onto the belt system for then loading up into the baler. So the combine should be empty. And I'm going to place this about here and get back to combining. Oh, that was annoying. I wanted to put that on park, and I put the combine on park. Let's take that off of park, put it back on GPS, fold the auger, start the engine, fold the auger, put the header on, go. Woo! I now need to basically do lots of harvesting and lots of bale making. So actually the bale is almost full. So even though we've just jumped into the combine, let's have a look at this, spit a bale out and wrap it up for us. And then I'm going to go off and get most of this done, and I'll be back, because otherwise this is going to be a very, very long video. I could probably do with another tractor here with the bale stacker on, or getting the bale forks back on the telehandler to move these bales out of the way. But I'm just kind of hoping that they'll naturally push each other out of the way as they come off the back, and then we'll get the Anderson stacker over later on once we've done some more. I suspect that actually we're going to struggle to keep up with the combine, and that we might end up tipping some of this in the silo and processing it over time, because the mill is quite slow. I'm assuming that the mill is set to quite a realistic speed because it's come through the farming agency, so we're just going to go with it. So I'll be back in a bit. So the first trailer load has been processed, so the JCB is empty, and I have basically one combine full in the trailer on the Valtra. I put the combine on a worker. It's running at a very, well, it's not a very weird angle, but it's just very different to the angle that I was working on and the angle the field runs at. So that's going to end up splitting it in two. So that's a bit annoying, but I thought it would let me get on with doing this and keeping the combine moving, which I thought was kind of useful. So yeah, that's why I've done that, because I could do with moving some of these bales, I think. So let's just ease on to there, and then this trailer should be quite nice because it's got a grain door that just drops out like that. So that's cool. We are making bales still. Hopefully now we can begin to refill the hopper in the grain mill. It had emptied a little bit where I didn't have anything that was providing grain, basically. there was a period where one trailer was empty and I was filling the other trailer. So what's cool about that is it means that the mill and the baler are running faster than the combine, which is quite nice because that means we're not going to end up waiting ages for the baler and the mill, which is good because I thought that was going to be the situation. No one really has left that in an annoying place. That was left over from the stream. Did I mention I stream sometimes? Not sure I did. So yeah, we're just going to move these out of the way. I'm not going to stack them particularly amazingly, because we've got a bale stacker for that. This is just to tidy things up a little bit. It's probably going to be a really bad place to put them because I'm not going to be able to get to the bale stacker. But I don't actually have another tractor that is suitable on this farm to run the bale stacker, because the only tractor I've got left is the actually I've got the little Valtra, but that's still hooked up to all of the slurry spreading kit. So we are using almost every tractor that we have on the farm to do this job, which is yeah, not what I expected from a simple corn harvest. Not quite a simple corn harvest given all of the kit we've got in front of us. So what's not working? Looks like the baler has crept a little bit. So realism is of course key. So realistically what I think you'd do is that. Yeah, that feels realistic to me. There we go. You just move the baler a little bit. I'm guessing what's happened there is the bales coming off the back have shifted it a bit. So yeah, this is something that I was actually talking about in the video for the patrons about. Is that empty already? Can't be. No, it's not. I got myself stuck in a certain play style where I used to be afraid to do things that were not realistic, or I'd get stuck and I'd be afraid to use super strength to fix something. And sometimes with farm sim you need super strength. There we go. Yeah, or super strength is useful. You don't maybe need it, but it's useful, so yeah, there's what I'm stumbling my way towards is saying that I am becoming more comfortable doing the things that I just want to do. I'm not suddenly going to be EJ style, but something like that. The baler needed moving. The easy way to move the baler, because I was in the telehandler, was to use the telehandler to move the baler. Because in the real world the baler probably wouldn't have shifted itself. Anyway, I'm going to get back to doing this, and I'll see you when we're almost done. I think we're pretty close to being done. So I've just emptied the Valtra trailer into the mill, and the JCB is over with the combine, and there isn't that much over there to make me think that we're going to need to send the Valtra back. So I've picked up the bale stacker, and we're going to start getting some of these bales stacked. The mill is still processing, so we don't need to rush to go get more corn. I'm just going to keep an eye on the combine to make sure that it doesn't get full, basically. And we're just going to let things work. So I'm not really sure how many bales we got. I've not been paying that much attention. It looks like so far we've got about 12 bales maybe. that hose is going to be in the way, so it's a little bit annoying, but we'll just see if we can nudge that a bit. We are going to need to rescue that bale, which is tucked behind the hose, which is tad annoying. But yeah, this has worked really well. Been really pleased with how this has all run. The baling has essentially been automated. We haven't yet used up a container of Luprasil, which is cool again. It's really nice. So yeah, we'll obviously need to let these ferment for a bit once we're done, but all gone very well. It's taken a while. So I'd hoped to be finished about half an hour ago, I guess. It's one of the things that's a bit different doing the videos this way is actually sitting, generally I tend to sit and record these in one hit, which is not how I do most of the videos that I make. Most of the videos are recorded in slightly shorter stints, or quite often recorded in slightly shorter stints. So, and it's been quite a long day, as I'm not sure if I mentioned. I probably have, but yeah, I was up very early, all day at work in the office, and then this is the second full video I've recorded this evening, and before that I voiced another video. So yeah, and before that I re-edited the video that came out on Tuesday for the maizePlus TMR because I realized I'd missed a bit out of it, and the handwritten recipe that I mentioned it in the video. I'd taken the time to get the picture of the handwritten recipe, but what I hadn't done is actually included it in the video. So yeah, I rushed the edit to get it rendered before I came away, and I forgot to put the picture in. So thankfully that has been re-edited and re-uploaded, re-edited, re-rendered and re-uploaded this evening. The hotel internet was good enough to do that job, which is kind of cool. You're going to miss that a little bit. Why are you, I'm not worried about you missing that little bit. Just get into the body of back into the body of the field. Come on, turn around. There we go. Yeah, so we've got a nice number of bales. We've still got an entire IBC of Luprasil, which is cool. You might notice that it's not going down. Basically, it is constantly taking it at this point from the IBC. That's a bit of a farm sim feature. I quite often see it on Greenlands with the BGA. If I park a trailer full of slurry in the trigger and start it emptying, if the BGA fills up, it will then just sit slowly trickling into the BGA as time progresses. So yeah, it's an interesting feature of Farm Sim 22. I'm half tempted to run this trailer back over to the yard, because the hopper's a little bit empty, and that'll probably give the combine time to finish. The combine should be able to harvest that without filling up, I think. So we'll do that. We'll get a bit more processing, and I'll be back. Last little bit in the combine. I thought I'd jump in and finish this off, and then we can run the combine back over to the yard to get the last of the corn processing, and I think I'll call it a day at that point. You don't need to watch the last few bales come out if you really want to. Do you want to see how many bales we got at the end? Suppose I can show you that. I'm not going to worry about the missed bits. They equal such a small amount of corn, so let's get the dealer to come pick the header up, because we don't need that anymore. And then let's get ourselves back over to the yard and we can get this get this corn emptied and get the rest of it processed. So I think probably in the next video we'll start going through prepping fields for next year, because I don't think I've done any planting yet. I'm not sure, but I don't think I have. So we've got a couple of fields to plough. We're going to have to do some fertilizing, so we're going to be pretty busy, I think. So yeah, things are going to pick up on the farm with prepping fields for next year and all that kind of thing. And because we're sensible, we'll take the huge combine to the trailer rather than the trailer to the combine. Sensible, right? Come on, let me open the pipe. There we go. Very long auger on this. Feels excessively long. I guess we could have a very big grain header though, so, you know. Right, that's that done. Get the last of the corn tipped in. There we go. That's that done. So now just need to wait for all the bales to fall out. Just don't know if speeding up time will help. No. So we just need to let this process. The last of the corn is running through. We're actually going to be pretty close to not having much left in the mill when we get the last bale out. I'm now watching. My plan is to switch the mill off when this bale fills, and we do that by closing the auger, and then I'll leave. I can probably mill this into the silo or something just to store it for now. There's not going to be much, or we can take it over because I think we can feed it raw to the pigs as well. So that's the other option. We currently have 17 bales on the Anderson bale stacker, so we can end up with 18 bales and a couple of thousand litres. So really nice yield off of that field. Just the last few, there we go. So if we close that off now, we should have pretty much none gone into the multi-baler. So they jump in here, we can grab that last bale, go get these stacked and call it a day, because it's taken a good few hours to get this recorded. I think. I'm not actually sure what time I started recording, so yeah, I'm really pleased with that yield off of there. No, oh well, I guess we're driving with it in the unload position to where we want to unload these. Hopefully we can get past the Volvo, because who doesn't love a slightly more challenging drive? I know there used to be a bug with aborting unloads on the Anderson, and I'm assuming it still exists. So we're not even going to try it, but we're going to drop these over here next to the other round bales, and we'll just let them sit and ferment. Actually, I'll move. Yeah, they need to go to the pigs eventually, but for now I'm going to put them here so they can ferment. You can always load them back up or just take over a few at a time. Yeah, let's start the unload, and what we learned before is we just let the trailer push the tractor, and I think that was how I got it to do a nice unload last time. That's not awful, so awesome. Right, I am going to say thanks for watching, folks. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, click the like button. Any comments, questions, suggestions below. and I will see you next time on Attingham Park.